Houston's responsible for some hallmarks, right? Treasure of the Sierra Madre, Maltese Falcon, Annie later in life. Legend Peter Jason, who does this show quite a bit, did a film, The Other Side of the Wind, with both Houston and another friend of yours, Orson Welles, and he said his primary job was to deliver two bottles of vodka every morning to John Huston's hotel room for breakfast. And he absolutely loved him. He said he was just a down-to-earth, complete old-school gentleman who liked his way of working, and that's the way it was going to go. And Warner Roth backed a story up when they were on the set of Victory, the Stallone, Michael Caine summer World War II film, and said, you know how a director knows his actors? In the case of John Huston on Victory, where they used real British soccer players and international players as the soccer POWs, and they would wander off to get drunk, and Huston had enough sense to build a real functioning pub right on the set so he knew where to find the cast. And he said that's where we were every day for weeks, was in this pub in our uniforms, our costumes, waiting to be called.
In 1942, the Nazis thought they were sitting on top of the world, never suspecting that they could be toppled in one conflict, the most unusual battle of the war.
It has been decided that a German national team will play a combined team from the prisoners of war of the occupied territories.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm ready to sign up.
Sign up, Hank.
And you ought to be exhibited in Paris like performing fleas. What about me?
Get out.
A stacked game. The Third Reich's finest against a ragged bunch of prisoners of war. The Germans thought they had it made.
They couldn't run about for 90 minutes. They'd be chucking their guts up.
Am I good? Or am I good?
What's your name?
You know my name.
What's your name?
I decided to join the team.
The American? No.
You use that bloody American style again here and you'll be barred.
Look, you're playing English, I play American.
Can you do it with your mouth shut?
Hey, the mouth and the hands work together. It's a team.
This match is a propaganda stunt for the Germans. It's a wonderful opportunity for us. The Allied High Command called them crazy, and maybe they were.
We want you to contact the resistance for us and arrange the escape of the football team.
But I want to thank you all for your concern, but I'm really not planning on seeing Paris until after the war. Well, I'm an orphan. I have no parents, no money, I'm not married. I don't even have a pet. And anything I might say in my sleep to the contrary can't be held against me.
We don't want to be shot as a spy, do we?
No. I don't want to be shot as anything.
Victory, starring Sylvester Stallone, Michael Caine, Max von Sydow, and introducing Pele.
How'd you like to play football against the Germans?
Why not?
Is the time for heroes. Victory. You've never seen anything like it.
That's one of the hidden skills of great directors, is relatability to the people you're working with, a sense of a dynamic. This guy operates one way and I've identified it. This guy operates another way and I've got to play to that to get the best out of him as well. You've got to almost be part hostage negotiator, part hostage negotiator, part therapist, I guess.
Right. If you go through the great directors, I mean, each one of them had a different approach to doing the films. And we talked about that, about George Stevens would shoot a scene from every conceivable angle so that he would have an enormous amount of options in the edit room. Huston was exactly the opposite. He didn't want studios to have the ability to go in and recut his work. So he would basically, like John Ford, almost cut in the camera. He knew what he wanted, and that's all he would shoot. There wasn't like, oh, we'll do an extra close-up or we'll go to a side angle or something like that. He was very direct. He knew what he wanted, and he just went in, and that's all he got. Some are liked very relaxed places to work. Some people, like Henry Hathaway, who was an overlooked and underrated director, was a screamer. I mean, everyone said it was just hell on his sets because he was in such a foul, screaming mood most of the time. But you look at his films; they're all very solid films with good performances, and he did a lot of movies. So every director had a different approach. But as I said, if I picked one that was most like me, it would be John Huston in just the approach to the work.
They were known as Lucifer and the Men with Painted Faces when they burned New Orleans to the ground. And when they sacked Panama, I knew that my road to redemption would be paved with tombstones. And by the time they brought the apocalypse to West Africa and the Indian Ocean, I would come to know two words with biblical significance. No quarter. No quarter. Kill All Masters. Rated R. Coming soon. Available on all platforms. Visit noquarterkillallmasters.com.